A little dicey, if you will.
Oh, I will.
Now, back in the day, which would mean last year, and probably the beginning of this year, I pretty much always encourage you to use when you come up with a percent word problem, to use a percent box thing, like a ratio box. However, I'm going to throw this out at you. When you talk about percent word problems, they come in two categories. One of them is when it's an increase or a decrease in percent. You know, like it says, okay, sale. When you go to a store and something's on sale for 20% off, that's a decrease in percent. If that's the case, I would always use the percent box. Okay. The other case is just when it asks you what percent something is of something else. It doesn't say something went up a percent or down a percent, it just says what percent of something is something else. If you come up with this is just as easy to, you can still do the percent box, but this is just as easy to make an equation, and I will show you. The percent box is a long kind of tedious little thing here. Most of these can be done a lot simpler. For example, here's the case in point. What number is 125% of 45? What number is 100, what did I just say? 25% of 48. Of 48. And again, the reason why this is easy is because the word of means, right. So if you're translating this into an equation, it's really easy because you have this. What number is 125% times 48? And you just need to multiply those two together. You got to change this to a decimal, which would be 1.25 times 48. I'm not going to do the math because I don't feel like it. Okay. Actually, this one actually, I would change this to a fraction, 5 over 4, because it goes easy as that. You get 60 for an answer, if that's what you like to do. But I'm not worried about your mathematical ability. The other one that you'll run across that gets a little more complicated is this. Okay. When you see these, you hope that you see the word of and there's numbers on either side of it, because then it means it's just a multiplication thing. But if they tell you this part and miss one of these things, then it's a little bit different. For example, I will find it here. I just need a number. Somebody help me out here. No. 15. This one. 15 is what percent of 45? Question mark. Okay. This one's not a multiplication one because you're missing one of the two of numbers. You're given the answer. I know what the answer is, which is 15, and that is what percent, of 45. But it's still an easy equation. What do you have to do there? Now, which one are you dividing by? No, the 45, because it's next to the letter. So you end up with 15 over 45, which I would change that to a fraction, which is what? Anybody? 15 over 45 is 1/3, and hopefully you know what 1/3 is as a percent.
33.1.
See, you are smart.
Wait, what is it?
It's 33 1/3%.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, let me show you. You can do this with a fraction box. Let me just throw it to you. This is how it would look fraction box wise. I would say you don't have to, nor do you really want to, but you could. Okay? You've got the percent right here, and you've got the real numbers, the actual numbers here. Okay? And this bottom one, in this case, is 100%. 15 is what percent of 45? The 100% number, the big number, is 45. 15 is what percent of it? you don't know. So your ratio would be n over 100 equals 15 over 45, which is the same thing we just did. 15 over 45 reduces to 1/3. You multiply it out, you're going to get 30. Yes.
He
Now,
does not like fraction box.
something's happening out there. Now this one,
There's no power.
by the way, this was about the time it all fell apart yesterday. I don't want an ugly reoccurrence of that. Now this one, let's go to this. I'm not even sure these really appear here, but I think they do. Let me find one from the book. Here we go, right out of the book. It says this. A driver who accelerates quickly and brakes heavily, raise your hand if your parent does that,
My sister does, my dad had to replace the brake.
reduces the fuel economy by as much as 33%. So, if you accelerate and brake quickly, you reduce economy by 33%, which is substantial.
It's almost one.
The car is supposed to get 32 miles per gallon. The car is supposed to get 32 mpg. Find the actual fuel economy. Find eco if you brake quickly all the time.
Wait, what does it say? The car is what?
The car is supposed to get 32 miles per gallon. I need a little bit of room here. So this is one, hopefully you recognize this. Okay, this is a decrease in percent. When you come up with a decrease in percent, there is a long equation, but I've never found a good way to teach it easily. So I just go with this because it's really, this is really pretty basic. Okay, when you have a decrease in percent, that means you start off with the original number, you take away the percent that it's going down, and you end up with your final number. And the original number is always 100%. You can throw that in the right away because it is. Okay. Now I have to fill in the rest of the boxes that I know. Well, I know that what is 32 miles per gallon? Is that how much it ended up being after it was decreased, or what it started out?
Actual.
It's the actual mileage that you're supposed to get. What was the decrease? 33%. So your final percent, you're actually getting 67%. Now they're either going to ask you how much was the decrease or what the economy is after it was decreased. What question do they ask?
Oh, find the actual, find the final. If you break it.
Yeah, find what you actually will get. So this is the one you're using. You don't need this part of the equation, but this is what you get there.
67.
Yeah, 100 over 67 equals 32 over what number? And remember, you cannot cross cancel here. This isn't multiplying fractions, they're equal fractions. You have to cross multiply, you can't cross cancel. Okay, I can't take 67 into 32 and try to reduce them or whatever. So you're going to end up with 100 times n, because this doesn't look like anything breaks down, equals 32 times 67. Which isn't going to be that bad, because once you multiply this, you just move the decimal back 2 places because you're going to divide by 100. If you take 67 times 32, what is that?
21. Oh,
21.
no, I was a different one.
134 and, oh, 21. Okay, I see where the 21 came from.
44.
What do you get?
21, 44.
2144.
then the answer is 20.
Right, and this 100 equals that, so you just divide by 100, which just means you move the decimal back 2 places.
See, that was really.
So N would be about 21 mpg, miles per gallon. Which, by the way, again, if you're a mathematical kind of thinker,
Alex.
here's kind of another way to think about this. If it's a decrease of 33%, you're actually getting 67% of what you should be getting. You can get the same answer by just multiplying this 67% times 32, 0.67 times 32. Just like if you go into a store and it's a 20% off sale, what percent are you actually paying?
80.
80%, which means this. A shirt is $60. Let's pretend we're Kohl's, and the shirt's $100, but you get 80% off sale. Whatever that thing is. Now, let's say you go in there at $60 and it's 20% off. Okay, you could do that whole long thing and find out how much off you get and subtract it, or you could just say to yourself, well, if it's 20% off, that means I'm paying 80% of what I should, what normally is. So you just take 80% times this, which is $48. I mean, the other way to do it is, okay, I get 20% off, so I find out what 20% is, $12. I get $12 off, and then I subtract, I get 48. Or you could just figure out what you have to pay. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Probably not. Did I mention this is about where it ended up, where we kind of fell apart yesterday? Oh, I like it. See, now, hey,